Hello everyone, welcome back to Nomifactory. Last time we got started with a bit of autocrafting, drilled some oil and started distilling it, and also made the clean room, and we could make EV circuits, also energy hatches, and since then I have overclocked the EBFs, and also separated them, so these are MV recipes, and these are HV recipes. This is stainless steel, these are the rest, and we're now running 2 energy hatches per one, with one on the top and the bottom. This means these are 10 seconds now, and this one's only 28. Instead of almost a minute. And because it was using more power, I made some more Numis. We have 8 in total now, and of course that means more shulkers, or diamonds. But then I started running into a problem. We were running out of PPC, so the ratio was wrong that I said earlier, of if that's running at MV, you can run 12 simulation chambers. It's actually 10, in specifically Nomifactory CEu. I think the overclock's a bit different, so it's a tiny bit slower, so keep that in mind. I turned 2 of them off, and now it's fine. And stable. So the number is 10. And I also made some circuits. A stack of MV, almost a stack of HV. I do need more LV. And 16 EV. So that should be good for today. So before I do anything, I want to upgrade PPC to HV instead of MV. That way we can run 20 sim chambers. So I think we should do that straight away. So goodbye, 4 machines. There's a bit of a gap here now. That's fine. I can fit something else here. So HV chemical reactor. That's a quest. We're just going to need a bit of Canthal for the furnace and the alloy smelter. I will probably passive this very soon. I think when I get the vacuum freezer, which will be in a bit. This should be a stack and a half. It's very cheap. The most expensive part is chrome, but we have thousands of that. We're fine. There's a furnace. We don't actually need a HV furnace. You can have an MV one, but otherwise it'll be 1-to-1, and I like to buffer pulsating dust. So everything's at the same tier, except the extractor. It's very fast already. We are waiting on Canthal a bit, so I'll get it going. So LV transformer, into the extractor, to melt ender pearls. There we go. This goes in the HV chemical reactor, so step up. The other 2 don't need transformers, because they use so little power. So with the resonant ender, we also input quartz. There we go. Now we smelt it, for an excess of pulsating dust. Also, everything's so loud. The Canthal should be finished now, yes. So we can make the alloy smelter. We also need another interface on this chunk. There's the alloy smelter. This can go here. And we insert clay and pulsating dust, and request clay in our new interface. There we go. And now we have PPC, but faster. And this should be able to run 20 simulation chambers. So we can turn these on again. We should be positive. I'm glad we have that fixed. Let's do some other stuff now. I was thinking autocrafting, but with machines, in parallel, because they're slow. And I'll do this over here somewhere. I have got a way to do it in mind, that I hope will work. Someone showed me a cool new method, so I'd like to try it out. And I think I'll use this space to passive one more thing. Wrought iron. Again, we can do this at LV, with an MV machine, because it uses so little power. There we go. This is basically free. No downgrades. We don't need it. I might do steel soon as well, but we don't have a form of carbon or coal automated yet, so I'll hold off on that. So I'll start building the area. I'll do exactly the same as this, just on this side. There we go, and we can add these things. They look nice. So 32 motors. I love autocrafting. 8 machine casing. Into holes. And now we can make a bunch of Y mills. 8. Yay. Also MV. HV is still kind of expensive with everything, but MV's perfect. We have so much aluminium. So I'll be doing everything at MV. We can have a converter, 16x. Just in case we want 16 machines in the future. It should be expandable. Also 1 interface. So I want to do this here. We should be able to fit 4 of these crafting towers, of parallel machines. The first one is Y-mill. Interface can go here. We just need power to the converter. And an AE connection to the interface. We should probably rename this. We do have the cutting knife, so I'll use that. MV, wire mill, array. Okay, cable goes here, and machines on the side. Awesome. You might be wondering, how do we get the patterns from here to the 8 machines equally? And you can do that with P2Ps. It's kind of crazy. I'm not sure which one it is. It might be the ME one, or it might be the interface one, but you can turn them back and forth. So I'll just see if it's this one for now, the default one. We can even have a pattern. There we go, we can do it. Okay, I have to figure this out now. Yeah, this does not work. I will try the next one. Interface P2Ps. There we go. Oh wait, I could just read about it. Oh, this is definitely the right one. I don't know why I tried the others. Please work. Yeah! That is beautiful. Let's do this many. Okay, we're good. This is working. It's so loud. It's so fast as well. Look at the speed. That was insane. That was like 6 stacks or something in less than a minute. I'm very happy I got this working. Okay, so now we can do the exact same thing, but for plates, with bending machines. I was going to do cutting saw, but it seems to be the exact same speed, if you use lubricant. So it's a bit of a waste. These are expensive too. So we're just going with bending machine. It's a lot cheaper. And we want 8, again. So I'll quickly get that. So 16 pistons, easy peasy, 16 motors, and machine holes. I will start doing this the other way. It saves on wrought iron, and 1 plate. It's just with polyethylene. And this should be 8 bending machines. Yay. And we set up the exact same thing. So MV converter, and an interface. And we put this here. Also we can test out the wire mill. Again, we need MV wire. The 16x kind. So we put this in the thing. We don't need to fly over here. You can do it in the thing. This thing. I just forget. So we need 4 16x. Before this took like 4 minutes. How quickly is it now? 10 seconds. That is great. So we need power and ME cable. I also need to make some more LV, like I mentioned earlier. I'll do that real quick. Another 3 stacks. Might as well. It's so cheap. We can also have a recipe for copper wire, the fine stuff. It's just the cable, back in. So I want a whole stack. Done in 5 seconds. I love that thing. Also we ran out of capacitors, somehow. It's the one we made 24 stacks of. We've still got plenty of the rest. I'll make another 24 stacks. It's so ridiculously cheap. It's just 32 PVC as the foil, and 16 tantalum as the foil, and then 32 polyethylene. And that's 24 whole stacks. It's pretty great. Anyway, back to autocrafting. 9 P2Ps as interface. Don't forget output from input side, and connect everything. And I've done this now. It looks a bit better. Also, if you want more interfaces, we can just plonk them on top, and it should be fine. So input and output. There we go. And this should be ready to go. We do have to name it though. MV bending machine array. Also circuit 1. Also auto output. Okay, let's test it out. Aluminium plate. This is one of the faster recipes. So it should be rapid. I keep flying over there. I don't know why. You can see it here. Okay, so give me 4 stacks. 256. That's pretty good. There we go. Crazy. So let's say we want a bunch of interfaces. We're still missing a lot. Coating of wire, a small gear extruder, a lathe for rods, a polarizer. We do need to automate the processes. That shouldn't be too hard. We need a macerator, and we need a passive cupronickel for this wire. And also a machine hull, which we're going to be doing this way, and then another assembler for the casing. So I'm going to need some extra machines, single block machines. I'll get 2 assemblers. Where do I put this though? Maybe here? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay, this looks good. I've done the path in the center, so it's a little different from this side. So I think we'll wire this like this, so we can go above and below with wiring. Because on a couple of these, we have to like input a liquid, so it makes sense. So converter, We'll do these machines at MV for now. So we'll run AE below and above. Okay, so now I'll make the machines. I want 2 assemblers. There's one, and we almost have the second. There we go. So fluid interface, requesting polyethylene, and insert via filter. There we go, that works. Now we can have an interface. The flat one, because why not? And now we point the machine down with auto output. And don't forget this. We can also do the same over here. And now we can make the casing, because you can't use this one. It has a tool, and it's on circuit 8. And also, we can do this recipe for the hull. So circuit 8 for this one, and this one doesn't need a circuit. I'll also name them MV assembling machine circuit 8, and this one just no circuit, I suppose. We can make other things in that one, maybe. So now if I want some interfaces, we can make these 2. Yay. Also, we're running out of MV circuits, alarmingly quick. So we still need a couple machines. I think I'll set up a lathe, exactly the same as these 2, as well as cable coating, because I've heard that's very slow. So I want to paralyze it a little bit. So lathe is this. That's actually fine. Very cheap. I might swap these round to full block ones. I like them better. So 8 pistons, 8 motors, 8 machine hulls, which we can do now, and it works as well. Very nice. Awesome. And now we should be able to make them. Almost. Oh yeah, circuits. I forgot. Time to make another 2 stacks, probably. I could automate these, but it's better to batch craft until we get the cheapest one, and then we passive them, I guess? I don't know. There we go. This should be 2 stacks of MV. They're so easy to make now. And there's the last lathe. Okay, I've got everything. MV, lathe, array. Input, output. These are so easy to set up. They're amazing. So aluminium rod. We can have a recipe and give it a go. I flew over there again. Why do I keep forgetting? Give me 2 stacks. Awesome. Everything is working. Though incredibly loud. Wow, that was like 10 seconds. So we have the main 3 things, parallelized, or however you say it. Wires, plates, rods. And we're going to have one more, coating of cable. But we need to passive rubber for that, so I'm going to have a break. And when we return, we'll do that. It involves a tree farm. I don't know where to put that. It's fine, I'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm back. I had to shuffle this back a bit, because I remembered these will be extended, up to 19 blocks away. And these were in the way, but not anymore. Also, I said I was going to passive some alloys, but I've been told that's quite bad in this pack, not like DJ2. So we're going to do the exact same thing, but with alloy smelters, so 8 of them. So I'll do that, before I set up cable coating. There we go. These are actually the cheapest, out of these 3. Okie dokie, I have everything. Everything's getting easier and easier to make, because we already have these. MV, alloy smelter, array. And this needs to have blocking mode on, for it to work. Otherwise it would get confused, so we don't want that. We can test it with copper nickel. We use this a lot. Or MV stuff. I flew over here again. What am I like? So stack of copper nickel. This should work. No it doesn't. Why is that? Oh yeah. Wrong P2P. How did I forget? Interface. Okay, let's try again. Yay! Awesome, and blocking mode works. Wow! Let's do cable coating next. So I want a tree farm in like a small square, and the farming station is over here. We just need a capacitor from Ender.io. Where is that? Over here? Yes. Electrical steel, SMD capacitor, tin. Okay, there we go. These are quite cheap. And the upgraded ones are not that bad either. Okay, so now we can make the farming station. Vibrant crystals, pulsating crystal, Z-logic controller, solarium, gears, and machine chassis, which we can actually do. There we go, farming station. So I want this over here, in however big an area this is. I think it's 7 by 7. I know there's a better rubber that we can make very soon, but I still need a rubber tree farm for my building blocks around the base, so don't worry. So I would make this grass if it wouldn't slowly turn to dirt when the trees grow. So what size is basic? Perfect. We just need power over to there. So we can give it saplings. I don't know if you need a hoe. I think it's just an axe. It does use durability. Actually, it does need a hoe to place the saplings, I think. So I think a way to do it is to passive stone axes and hoes and input them into there, using the wood from itself. So that requires a crafter. We'll go with mechanical because we can afford it. I might passive logs to wood and to sticks, just because it'll make it a little more simpler, I think. So 2 crafters and a lathe. These might need grid power. I guess we'll find out. So wood to logs. Like that. Oh, okay. We don't need grid power. That's nice. Input wood with a filter and request it here. There we go. We should probably limit the input and also output. There we go. And into a drawer. And for the lathe, this can make sticks. Very fast. There we go. Sticks. These 2 should fill up rather fast. And we can get rid of this, probably. It served me well. So now we just need an interface. And these should be able to pull from it, I think. Also cobblestone. But maybe not like that. They'll fill up. So 1 makes hoes, and 1 makes axes. And if I request sticks... Yes, it works. Awesome. I hope it's smart enough to not overfill. I could just use dirt. There we go. I've got a better idea. No cobblestone generator. Just request it here. In the interface. This way it shouldn't back up. Ever. We haven't passive cobblestone yet though. I'll just do that. It's fine. Okay, so we have hoes and axes. Now we just input into this. There we go. Trees. They break rather fast, but I guess that doesn't matter. Also, I do want to fix something. Sometimes there's an annoying message once it's full. You can turn that off in the configs. Ender.io machines, farming station, disable farm notification. There we go. Now it works, and it doesn't scream at you when a tool breaks. So now we can just have a drawer controller, like here, with a few drawers. We might have to move this actually. We need to fit a storage bus on it. So I'll go trim, and then drawer controller. That works. So we extract from the farming station into the controller. And there's 3 outputs. Rubber wood, sticky resin, and saplings. And because I don't like putting storage buses on things with void upgrades, I will have a bin on lower priority. Also some extract speed upgrades. Just to help a bit. There we go. And we might as well fully upgrade everything. Awesome. And I need to mute a sound. The brake sound effect. Before I go insane. Okay, we're good. This seems to work. And now we need to process these 2 for rubber. I will do this over here. I want 2 centrifuges. MV. There we go. So we can centrifuge sticky resin and rubber wood. Also request them here. Oh wait, we get glue from this as well. I forgot. And methane. We have to move this then. We don't have enough space. Okay, so we have another chunk. I did it quickly. You've seen me do this like a million times. So centrifuge. And 2 tanks. I know I could use super tanks, but I can't be bothered. It's just methane and glue. Like who cares? So same thing as last time. Request rubber and sticky resin and input via filter. There we go. And the other one. Awesome. So I'll sort out the liquid output first. Into these two. We do need a trash can. And a billion filters. So we want glue and methane. Okay, that worked. And fluid storage buses. Even though we don't really care about these. So now we have passive rubber pulp. Also, how did that get there? It must have happened before I filtered everything. And also passive, carbon, sticky resin, which we kind of already have, wood pulp, and plant balls, in which we can use for ethanol if we pulverize into biochaff. It's a much better way than whatever we're doing here, so I might switch to that. So I think we want void on everything except these two. This is what we want. The rest we don't really care. And upgrades for everything. We might as well. Okay, so now we have passive rubber dust. We just need to chemical react with sulfur for passive rubber. And oh look, we have a spare one from the old PPC setup. We will need a limited item filter though, I forgot about that. There we go, they're not that bad. So 1 sulfur to 9 rubber, and request them over here. There we go, liquid rubber into a drum, and a storage bus. And now we can coat the cables with this, but we're also going to need it as sheets, so I need a solidifier. There we go, and I need a plate mold. So we can insert rubber, also request it over here. There we go. And this can go into a drawer, but I don't think I want to buffer 2000. Maybe I do, I don't know. This is just for conveyors, I think. I just don't want to waste all the rubber. There we go. How do you make the better rubber, by the way? I think the next one is silicon rubber. Polydimetryl, whatever that is. Water plus that, and that's chloromethane and silicon. And this is methanol and hydrochloric acid. It doesn't seem that bad. It's just a really long chain of chemical reactors. We'll probably switch to that. I don't know when though. That's fine for now. Okay, so we should be able to set up cable coating. Finally. But again, it's late. So I'm going to have another break. Okay, I'm back. And this is what I came up with. Sadly, we needed rubber as a liquid in the machines, so I had to use conduits. I was tempted to try use the P2Ps, but I don't think they'll work with fluid, and also interface, at the same time. So I had to do this. I think it's fine. Also, I replaced this centrifuge with an extractor, because I realized we basically did not need glue, so I'm doing it this way now. It's over twice as fast, and you get the same amount of rubber. And now it's able to keep up with this, the chemical reactor, and we're getting lots of rubber now, which is very nice. So we should be able to coat cable now, this way. I might enable blocking mode. I'm not really sure if it'll break or not. Also, we only have 4. It might be too slow, but we'll see. So stack of coated cable, please. How fast is that? Yeah, still kind of slow. There we go. It took like a minute. Too slow. But now that we have it, it should be easier to order machines. 4 more. I just need some more stuff. There we go. 4 assembling machines. It's also making the cupernickel, which will be a nice test. I forgot to mute a lot of these machines after I moved them. And there we go. Wow. I love autocrafting. There we go. Now it should be twice as fast. Let's test it out again. Awesome. Yay. Only 30 seconds now. That's good enough. So we're still missing a few single block machines, but we're almost there. We also need to automate nickel, and probably steel, but I'll get to that later. Let's do an extruder for small gears, but we also need a few more for rings, pipes, bolts, and I guess large pipes. What was that used for? I don't even know. Maybe we skip that one for now. We could also do rotors instead of a rotor mold, because then we'll have to mess with liquids. We also need big gears. I forgot about that. So 5 extruders. And it seems to be fine. Not that expensive. Okay. I should definitely automate the polarizer. I will just steal this one though. There's no point making an entire new one, even though it is cheap. It's only used for like one thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. That one's LV. I guess we're making a new one anyway. That sound is so terrifying. I'm glad it's not that destructive. That's the second explosion now. I'll keep count. I can't stop laughing. There we go. An actual NV1. No explosions. So output down, auto output, and screwdriver. And now we can do magnetic stuff. It's like two things, for now. It's used in the motors, and they're all steel, except LV. They become neodymium though, in EV, but we're not there yet. So now we just need a few pipes. And we can make 5 extruders. Lovely. Look at all these automations. It's amazing. Yay. I will start going around the back, I think. So 1 here, and 4 around here. So 5 interfaces. We can make it. Awesome. I love just being able to make things now. So each one of these gets a mold. We just need 1 more, the rotor mold. Also, I forgot about the big gear one as well. So maybe another extruder. Maybe 2 more, actually. Rotor mold extruder. There we go. So this one for gears. This one for rotors. This one for rings, and bolts, and pipes. I think I'll make 2 more though, for large pipes, and big gears. But I'll set up these ones first. So MV, extruder, small gear, and so on. And remember to output downwards. With a screwdriver. Okay, those should work now. So now we can do these recipes. They're used in pistons, and rotors in pumps, also rings, and bolts are used for screws in the lathe, and pipes are also used for pumps. Look at how much we can automate now. Basically everything. We just don't have a pulverizer for the rubber, because you can't extrude plates. So we'll have to pulverize into pulp. But it's very quick, so it's fine. So 2 more extruders. It will test the gears as well. Yay, it works. The pipe was a bit slow, but it did work. And 2 more interfaces. So now we can do big gears and large pipes. There we go. And look at this. This is for a stack of interfaces. And we're only missing a couple things. Macerator for fluics. And then AE2 processors. Also to autocraft fluics, probably. But that should be really easy with this. Let me make a macerator first. Everything just works. I have to extend this soon. But it's fine. Now we have a macerator. This won't be used for much. I will do fluics dust. And rubber pulp. From the plates. And that means we can also do the rings. And pumps are fully automated now. Those were so annoying before. Also, I keep coming over here. I never ever use the interface terminal. Am I stupid? I might be. So let's say we want 16 pumps. We're just missing bronze as a recipe. We can do that. We don't have tin automated yet, which is kind of funny. You can use DML, same with nickel. I'll do that soon. We can run up to 20 now, so there's no excuse not to. I'm just lazy. So 16 pumps. It tests out a lot of our automations. Well, not really. We already had the rings. Oops. All we're waiting for is the extruders, for pipes, and rotors. They are quite slow, but there's not a faster way to do it. Even if you do it this method, you still have to extract, which takes time. I think the exact same time. It works out like that. There we go. By the way, we're just crafting the pumps in this assembler. It's on circuit 0, so it works. I could separate these in the future, so this is just holes, and we have a separate one. That will probably happen, just not now. Also, I want to test out rings. Okay, that's fine. It macerates so fast. There we go. A stack of rings in like 10 seconds. So now I think it's time to do the inscribers for the processors. And that's everything done for the interfaces, apart from the missing resources and circuits. But that's not for now. Okay, so we need more inscribers. We should be able to automate this. Maybe not hoppers. We don't have a circuit 1 assembler. And we can do all this. Great. So I would like 8 more after this one, so 9 in total. We're just missing hoppers and the processors, obviously. We will need a cutting machine as well, or diamond plates. Also Certus quartz, because this way sucks, and we don't have a compressor. This way is much better. So while the hoppers are doing, I will build the area. I might be able to fit it here. Let's do that. In this tiny slither. Never mind, I don't think I can. It's a little bit too small. I guess I'll extend it to here. Okay, so we can have interfaces. Here, here, and here. These are for the inscribers. And growth chamber can go here. on this block. I don't want to touch this bit. I might want this to be a path. That'll look way better than this weird shape. There we go. That's better. Okay, we have enough hoppers now. They take forever, for some reason. So we can make 8 inscribers. And we can also steal this one. And the growth chamber. There we go. Okay, so my plan. One of these for silicon, parallelized 3 times. One for the printed circuits, all 3. And one for each processor. There we go. It's a funny shape. I might even move it a little bit. There we go. It's like a smile. Let me give it eyes. Steam dynamos. Okay, maybe too close together. There we go. Perfect. I'll leave him there. Conduit will have to go everywhere on top, but oh well. So connect everything up. Everything should be online. Okay, so this one will be silicon. So we put 1 silicon press in each of these 3. And I don't know if blocking mode has to be on. I will enable it anyway. It should be fine. So this one is the printed circuits. So we put 1 press in each. It should only accept the right one. It's very smart, I think. And this one is just for circuits, parallelized. So now we need recipe for this. Printed silicon. Also silicon plate. We can probably passive this now in an EBF. I'll probably do that very soon. And the pattern goes in here. So this should work. Let's order 3. Okay, good. It worked. Kind of. It put 2 in this one, and 1 in this one, but none in this one. It should work better in bulk. And we just extract back into the interface. There we go. Now we just need 1 of each of these. So calculation, engineering, and logic. This goes in the middle one, and again extract into the interface. Let's test it out. There we go. It seems to work. Yes. And now we just combine them in the final one. There we go. This should work. Yes, it does. Awesome. They could use some acceleration cards, but I don't really care at the moment. And we'll also do fluics in this. I think it should work, as long as we have blocking mode. So this recipe should work. Let's give it a go. Give me a stack. Yes, it does. Awesome. Okay, so now if we order a stack of interfaces, what are we missing? Nickel, silicon, and steel. Okay. That's just resource problems. Except silicon, I guess. We have to passive it. Also steel. What about this many? Yep, we still can do it. It's just circuits and ingots. What about 1,000? Ah, I see. So we need a recipe for charged Certus quartz. We have a charger somewhere. That should work. I can't be bothered. I'll do it later. We've got plenty of charge left. Enough for like 500 interfaces. So I think we're fine. But we also need a cutting saw for the other processors and fluid interfaces. They require lapis plates. Yes, everything else is fine. So I'll make a cutting saw. That was easy. Things are so cheap now. Everything is automated. It's amazing. The only problem we'll run into is everything's not automated in terms of resources. So we need like tin and nickel. MV cutting machine. We do need lubricant, which is automated. There we go. So now we can have diamond plates. Lapis plates. Also a block of lapis. And Certus quartz plates. Plus I guess the block. Let's give it a test. It's probably quite slow. Oh, never mind. That's great. Okay, so I set up some more DML. I was going to do this on camera, but we're sort of running out of time. The video's getting a bit long. We have silver from Ghast, coal from Creeper, tin from Skeleton, and nickel from Slime. You can't actually do lapis, which is surprising. I would have expected it. So we've been improving our infrastructure for basically the entire episode. As a result, we've not progressed at all. So how about we do a little bit of that by getting the vacuum freezer just to finish off the episode. This lets us cool hot ingots, by the way, instead of the chemical bath. And it also means we can automate the hot ingots in the EBFs on passive. So I'd like to get that. It does use EV circuits, 3, for the controller, as well as some other stuff, but that's fine. And the casing is just aluminium. Wow, that's quite easy. Let's make it. We can even encode the pump and everything else, because we can do it now. There we go. 3 HV pumps. Easy. And now we just need a bunch of this. We don't have an assembler on 6 or 4, so I'll just do it manually, I guess. It's just a bit of aluminium. It's quite easy. There we go. This should be enough, though I don't know. And the controller. I probably should run this at HV, I imagine. So I need some energy hatches. Maybe 2, and run it at EV instead. Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. It's a bit future-proof. We also need sodium potassium for some reason, but everything else is fine. We can make these now, remember. This should be 4 HV. I wanted some spare, maybe for an EBF? I don't know. So most of these recipes do not need a liquid, but some do, so I might as well account for that. So input bursts, output bursts, input hatch, output hatch. Also maintenance hatch is circuit 8, which we do have. So we can actually automate it in this one. There we go. We should be able to build this now. I will leave a space here, probably for the EBF. I might need to overclock it to EV with the other 2 of these, maybe. So I'll put it here. Yay! Didn't mess this one up. That's great. There we go. Fix the maintenance. So there is a very nice trick we can do with this. The OR dictionary storage bursts. Basically any hot ingot has the OR dictionary ingot hot. So you can make it so anything with that OR dictionary gets stored in here immediately before it goes into the drives. Because there's no use for these. You need the cold versions. So I will make one of these. It seems fine. There we go. That was easy. So this can go here. With ingot hot. Star. There we go. With high priority. So now we just plug this in. That should be easy. And now we can put an interface on the output bus. So the output goes directly back into the system. And now instead of doing this spaghetti, we can just output directly into an interface. And that should sort it out and cool it down automatically. But I am going to move this EBF and overclock it to EV, also known as 2HV. I'll just leave that. Who cares? And it shall go here. Overclocked. There we go. And interface on the output bus. This is kind of funny. The hot ingot goes from here to here, but we're using AE2. A tiny bit unneeded, but oh well. So now we should be able to make nichrome for the next coils, because you can't cool this down in a chemical bath. You need the vacuum freezer. So nichrome at EV. So we did need to overclock. That's good. 4 nickel, 1 chrome equals 5. Okie dokie. Let's make a bunch. Here's 5 stacks. Circuit 2. For some reason. We've got more chrome than nickel, which I find funny. Okay, so now we can burn nichrome with Canthol and EV. Circuit 1. Yay. 50 seconds. Not the worst. And after it's finished, it should automatically go into here, without going into the drives, because it's a hot ingot with OR dictionary. Yay! Awesome. We have our first nichrome. So these are the next coils. They're quite good. They're hot enough for a 4x speed bonus when overclocking for anything under this temperature, 1800 Kelvin, which I assume includes like aluminium. Yes, it includes this. That's great. That means we can switch the coils and have 5-second aluminium. That sounds cool. This one works too. Also vibrant. Oh, and stainless steel. So we should be able to get it in like 14 seconds then, instead of 28, and originally like a minute. So that's a lot quicker. I will make a bunch of this then. I'll try and swap all of the coils over, because we can make 1 billion nichrome. It just takes a while. So that's what I'm going to be doing, in between episodes, probably. As well as adding more EBFs, I imagine. So I think we'll end it there. So we did a lot of work today. Most of it not progress, but infrastructure is very important. It should make progress easier, further into HV, and maybe into EV. We'll see. So that's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.